Lovely viewers, welcome to the Youth Circle here on New TV English. I'm your girl, Princess McCaffrey, the host of the show. You can follow the Youth Circle playlist on YouTube, share, subscribe, and talk about it to people around you. Preventing teen pregnancy and increasing awareness requires a multifaceted approach that combines education, community support, access to healthcare, and changing of cultural norms. Our topic of the day is teenage pregnancy prevention and raising awareness. I have two wonderful people with me here that I'm going to introduce to you. Mr. Rafiu is here with me, and Miss Uju is here. To the people viewing it at home, I'll start with Mr. Rafiu.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I'm Abdul Rafiu Sisi, and I am a consultant to some international firms, and I am an English coach. But besides that, I am also the SG of GAT, that is the Global Alumni Association of Togo.
Miss Uju?
Okay, so my name is Uju Cosmos. I'm an entrepreneur and I'm also an actress. Yeah.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you
So
very much.
you know the topic of the day, which is teenage pregnancy. So when they say the teenage pregnancy, what comes to mind? What comes to mind? I'll start with Miss Uju.
All right, so what comes to my mind is the inability to educate young grown-up or young adults, the kids, based on sexual intercourse and all that while growing up, and the inability to be able to educate them in a formal way, in a way to go about it. Yeah.
Mr. Rafiu?
Well, I see the teenage having some problems, and when we talk of teenagers, we mean those young men from 13 to 19. Okay, then this is that period of age, or that the people that we call teenagers. And then the teenagers, then they have some problem having early pregnancy. So that comes in my mind when we talk of.
So what are the
that.
common factors that contribute to teenage pregnancy?
Well, I see 3 points, and I think that she mentioned one, that is education. But I will talk of bad or lack of education, home education. If you are a parent and you're not giving that good education to your children, especially the teenagers, then obviously they will have that problem in school, environment, especially. This is what we're talking about. And I see another point, that is bad companionship.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you're not surrounded with people that are with good intention, good values, okay, good values, especially that point, then obviously you will fall into traps and then follow them and get that early pregnancy that we're talking about. Another point will be the teenage itself, because at that time what I see is young men that are eager to learn, and they have that emotional growth, that physical growth, and cognitive growth. And if you don't know how to capitalize all that they have, and then focus and guide them or rate them the way that should be, then they will be out of your reach, and you cannot control them anymore.
Yeah. Miss Uju?
Okay, so if I'm to say the factors that contribute to this, I would rather say one, I have so many, but I'll just mention, let's say 3. 1, lack of parental guidance. 2, poverty from maybe the background of the place where the person is coming from. And peer groups. So their friends can influence them to do what they don't want to do, because they see that their friends are doing things, clubbing, drinking, and doing all sorts of things. They want to feel among, without being educated on the side effects of these things that they should do, and what they should do and what they should not do. So all these things, I believe that most especially, if I'm to say, is the peer groups. Your poverty is something that everybody knows that it's everywhere, but it has to do with composure. You have to compose yourself. Other people comes from a poor background, but there are still girls that are well trained to be able to caution themselves that this is what I should do and what I should not do. So based on all this, just these 3 factors, I will hold on to: poverty, peer groups, and lack of sexual education.
Okay. So how can comprehensive sex education, let's say around us, can help like put this teenage pregnancy down, especially in our part of the country?
Giving sex education to teenagers, both the males and the female, because it doesn't only lies on the females alone. Giving them this sex education is very, very good in order for them to be able to know their do's and don'ts in the life system, in ecosystem as a whole. Because while growing up, most of people don't actually know. Let's say most parents are not in a space or are not that open to be able to discuss these facts with their kids while growing up. I don't know, maybe I would say maybe some is based on they are shy to communicate such thing to them. But I believe if the children cannot hear it at home, they should be able to hear it maybe at school, from the church, from the community, and all those things. So being able to talk about it shouldn't be something that should be a sin. I don't see it as a sin or something that should be hidden or private to discuss about. I believe that everybody does. If it cannot be taught in the house, let it be taught other places. But let everybody be aware of their do's and don'ts when it comes to sexual issues.
Okay. Seraphiel?
Well, I do agree that we should teach that in schools, but in my point of view, I think that we should focus on the consequences of you not being careful of your body and being pregnant. Okay, and if you let them know the consequences, I think that they will pay more attention. And I want that sexual education basically to follow the program that can be, a governmental program that can be like the vision of a government that we can try to communicate to the population. And then if, for example, we say, okay, great, we want to have, for example, we say vision 2060 or whatever. Okay, and then when we say that in a country we want to have, I'm gonna say maybe a crazy thing like 6,000 girls or ladies to be, like to go far and be doctors or to be scientists or whatever, then you know that of course you cannot be that good and be at that level if you're pregnant. Then you should try to pay attention to your body and know who to be with, and etc. Okay, so I think that should be based on a program that can be a national program like that, from the vision of the government to the population. And if you talk of one of the points or the consequences, she mentioned a point that is poverty, but we can also talk of what? Increased poverty circles. Okay, that is what she said, but I want to specifically say that will be increased and that will be a circle like that. So if you have to go to school and be at a point, at a position you're not there, then you see, that is economic problem that will be there too. And if we talk of, that reduced educational attainment to the population, then to the teachers, then they know that, okay, we need to know what to do, how to do that to, reach the goals. If we also talk of higher healthcare costs to the country, and then, people say, we all need to play our role to contribute to that. So these are some points that I want people to ponder over, to know how to contribute to this reduction of early pregnancy in schools.
Okay. So if I'm to add to also what he said, I would say that the ability to be able to let affordable contraceptives for the young ones, like be able to educate them on how to make use of it and how to protection like condoms, pills, and all those things is not a sin. Coming from a healthcare, I'm a nurse, so I would rather say it's something that it should be advocated. It should be something that everybody has to be aware of. Because in order for this teenage pregnancy that we are talking about, most of us, as let's say, while growing up, we are not introduced into all these factors that there are things that we should do to prevent ourselves from getting pregnant. Some ladies don't get pregnant out of ignorance, and also maybe the lack of funds to get these pills as well. So if they are being able to, let's say, I know that there was once a time I saw some people distributing putting condom all over the place, but some people are not used to condoms. I'm not saying it's not good. Yes, protecting ourselves are okay, but we should also be able to advocate based on the pills aspect as well, that can be able to help the kids and help make the girls right growing up, and able to also let it be affordable for them to be able to buy it. Because if we should say that these people are not yet okay for having sex, we shouldn't encourage them for this. They might do it behind your back. You would not know. Most of the kids, ladies now, they grow up. You think your daughter is still a virgin, but she's not a virgin until the pregnancy shows. Then you know that yes, my daughter have been having sex without me knowing. Just, but it's better you educate it, even if you can just and also put it in the curriculum in the school.
Yes.
Let the school be able to teach these kind of things, that yes, these are the things that we have to go about. These are the things how you have to go about when it comes to teenage pregnancy. You have to protect yourself, your personal belongings. All these things are well to be treated, both in school, churches, because even now let me not even say school, because most people are not always in school, due to some financial situation. But at least the church, let's not just be all about teaching about the word of God. It's not, yes, the church belongs to the word of God, I know, but there's some other external things I think that should be spoken about in church. But I once heard of some let's say couples want to get married, they'll say, okay, let's go for marriage counsel and all that. Let there also be a teenage counsel as well, where they counsel young youth on how to go about with their health and to protect themselves, and based on sexual infections and also teenage pregnancy as well.
Okay.
Maybe I want to add something too. Sure. I'm not going to compare or say what she says is true now, but to add something else. I talked values, and especially African values, and this is very important too. We seem to neglect abstinence too. Okay, maybe it's difficult to date nowadays, but it's not impossible, because we still have, she said the word, virgin girls. Okay, that we still have some that are virgin, but not everybody. Why not come back to that value that is very important to African girls, especially Togolese too? Then I think that in addition to giving that comprehensive sexual education at school, talking of the consequences, we should also focus attention to abstinence. That may be difficult, of course, but not impossible.
It may be difficult but not impossible, because abstinence is the only easier way that can help, especially young ladies that are still schooling, still looking for something for themselves, they are still coming up. So it's better you just take yourself out of it.
Are you sure? How many percentage? What are the percentage rate that these people want to abstain from this? The internet have made it today. Today, the internet have made it a way that they see sex as a common thing. They want to try it out
and see.
So you saying abstinence is maybe those who can abstain are those ladies are still in the, let's say, in the area where they are yet to see things that are happening on social media. Now these days you go on social media, you see ladies all naked, you see guys gym fit and all those things. You be enticed, you start seeing yourself thinking about some things. So abstinence is good. Yes, well, if it's in your system to abstain, if you're brought up in that way. But once you have a peer group that surrounds you, you have technologies that surrounds you, that makes you not to be able to go into want to abstain. You want to feel among, you want to test and say, oh wow, I've tested it, or yeah, this person is okay, or this person. All these things are things that while growing up, ladies these days do talk. Ladies these days do talk about it. You say, my guy is good on this and this, so they want to always open up about it.
Okay, that's why I say I don't want to compare, say that what she says is whatever, but I wanted to add. That is to say, what you say is true.
Very true.
Now, true, I do agree, totally agree. But this was back then possible. Why can't we try to come back to that? I'm not saying that we should have, for example, 100% of success. No. Even if it's two people we have that are virgin, that is a good start. You say, I have some statistics here for you. In 2023, for example, and this is from Togo and from the Ministry of primary and secondary and technical and handicrafts ministry, and they say that in 2023 we had 8,000 early pregnancies.
Wow.
You see, that is huge. Come on. Then, should we say that we do not have that education at school? Should we say that it's not well taught? I don't know. I'm not going to say that people are not doing their well or good jobs. No, I'm not going to say that. But my point here is, in addition to what they're doing, why can't we just infuse that aspect of the thing? And I say, that may be very difficult, but not impossible.
Yeah. It's not impossible, just like you said. But when you say infuse, that means you want to put it inside. You want to impose it on it. And mind you, children of these days are ancestors. That you ask them not to do. They want to know the reason why you don't want them to do this. So it's better for you to just allow them, give them options, let them choose by themselves.
We're not saying that we are not going to give any option to anybody, but if you have an ideal, something, you give yourself the means to reach the goal.
Sure.
I'm not going to go far, but sometimes I will say that dictatorship is a good thing. We may talk and say no, but finally you see that people are well, even if it's apparently they know how to well behave, etc. So if I say that, I mean we should find a way
to.
We're here to let people know the options that they have. If we only talk of, let's teach them sexual education alone. And we forget, because this is our role here too, to educate, right? So we should tell them what to do, but now if finally they cannot or they don't want, we here, nobody will come and blame us, right? That's what I'm saying here.
So we are now coming to parents. So what role do you think parents have to play in this whole talk that we are doing today? Because they are the most important people in the life of their children. Like if you want your child to grow in the right way, it has to come from the house. It starts from the house. Parents has to play a role in the education of the children. So what do you think are the roles that parents can play to prevent this teenage pregnancy?
All right. So if I'm to say, I would rather say that parents have 50% involved in the teenage pregnancy. They are 50%, like they are the cause of it. Let me put it that way, okay? Because once it comes to teenage pregnancy, as a female daughter, as a female child that's growing up, as a mother, you should be able to put your eye on that female child to know that yes, this child is now she's now getting to an adolescent age. She's now in that age that you need to educate them. There are some things I don't have to do in the presence of this my daughter in order for her not to start reasoning in a kind of way. Also, so this parent as well, you will see some parents who are also living in a one-room apartment, having a grown-up kid who are still making out in this one-room apartment. Now drawing in the attention of the kids to want to know what their parents are doing, that they will also want to test it to see what the reason why my mom and dad always do in the night and all those things. You understand? Parents are to be blamed in some part, and so also parents are also 50% valuable to teach, educate the kids on what they should do and how to do it, to know that yes, this thing you see me doing doesn't mean that you must do it. There's a time for everything. Right now, this is the time for education. Once there is a time for this, even if it warrants you putting fear in them that if you get pregnant, because while growing up, I remember my mom telling me that if you get pregnant, so you want to give birth, they're going to use scissors or razor blade to tear your womb. Like the fear was inside of you, so you hold down yourself not to even get close to a man, let alone getting pregnant, in order for you not to get a pitomomy, like being caught with scissors or razor blade while giving birth, and all those things were the fears that we were put in while growing up. But this is, I don't think parents have that time.
I even remember when I was a kid, when I started having my menses, my mother was like, if a man touches you, like, you get pregnant.
Exactly.
So make sure you stay away from guys. And that day, I think I came to school, and then my lecturer, he asked me to sit beside a guy, and I was like, no, I will not sit beside a guy. I was afraid to the extent that my mother told me that if a man touches you, like, you get pregnant immediately.
Exactly, because our mindset then and the mindset of these people now is not the same. Let's just get it that straight. Our mindset, why growing up, and the mindset of people, these children that we have right now are not the same. These people are go-getters. They are fighters. They want to know. They are knowledgeable. They want to try. They want to be able to defend, to be able to say that yes, I did it. I went, I saw, and I conquered. Do you get it? So in order for all these people that wants to go and see these children, they want to just go and test it. Let's just back them up with informations of what they need to know about this, the rules and regulation that binds this sex of a thing. It's not. It also they are, be able to let's say not let your peer groups influence you into doing things you don't want to do. Yes.
Serafio.
Well, I think that almost everything I would say, you know, but yes, I want to come back to that essential role that parents have to play. That is, they are the role models of their children, of course. So you should pay attention whenever children are around. What you should do in private, you pay attention to it and you do it in private, not publicly, because we say all the children, they don't understand, or they can't understand, or they don't see, but they are quick in copying.
Very true.
So we pay attention to that. And again, if you don't have, we talk of what liberty, and that many options to give to them, of course, but at the point we need to have rigor too. And in that case, you should let them say, oh, if you do this, of course you have the consequences, but I, as your parent, I will not tolerate that. Of course they can go in a hidden place and do that, but if you try to let them have it internally, they will be their own refrain.
Sure. When
they're outside, you will not be there to guide them. Okay, and it's a very important thing to do as a parent. If you succeed in doing that, God bless you.
And your children will be safe.
Yes.
So how can peer-to-peer education help in increasing awareness and preventing teenage pregnancy? Miss Uju.
Okay, so peer-to-peer education is quite alright, because most kids doesn't have the friendship with family. Their parents, there are some things they cannot talk about with their parents. But once it's their peer group, you can be able to say things that openly to say this, discuss this kind of matter with them. And say, okay, see, somebody asked me out and he wanted us to do this. But once that person, once you're coming down, what's the peer group, the group that is in that level, once he or she is hearing what the person that comes out from this person will be able to educate them. See this thing you're doing, this is how you should avoid this thing, so it's not going to help you. They kind of listen to themselves than parents. To us, we think that parenting advice is kind of, they're cautioning us, they're putting it to us, that we must do it, something that we must do. If we not do it, we must be punished for it. But when it comes to our peer groups being like educating us on what we say, okay, maybe this person have gone through this thing, that is the reason why he or she is giving me this advice, so let me be able to take this advice from this person. But but in a conscious way, let me still be able to do things in my own way. But believe it or not, they will surely listen to that peer group more than the parents, because they believe that this person, for this person to tell me this person have gone through it, they will want to know more. They will want to also be going close to that person that told them that, okay, these are the things you need to do, these are the things that, let me shock you. Do you know, average of ladies growing up, where their first sex or their first sex attempt was through their peer groups.
True.
It was through their peer groups, because they want to try out what they have been seeing. Now, maybe, okay, I saw this thing online, I saw this, let's kind of go about it, let's see how it feels. So the same way that same peer group can influence you badly, peer groups can also influence you in a good way.
Sorry, Sarah.
And this brings me to this point. I was watching a broadcast that was on, Canal Plus. I don't want to give the name here. But they were talking of the relationships that parents should have with their children. And some say that I would rather love my children to be my friends. Okay, and this is to talk of this peer that we're talking about. If you succeed, some say that no, I can be okay with my children, but not to be friends.
Yeah.
That is something else. But I think that if you establish that, let's say, trust, that they can come to you and talk about everything, they can at least, see you the way they see their peer-to-peer, and then say some things to you. It's true that they cannot tell you everything. Of course, they will be shy, of course. But if you install or establish that relationship, I am sure that they can tell you some things that they would like to try to, taste this or test and see what, the consequences is or whatever. And if it's not you, and that is a close relationship, that is your sister or brother, they're okay with, I think that they can have that, freedom to go and talk to them about things like that.
Can I?
But this
let me
aspect
kind of add something to what he said. Okay. Based on he said the relationship with parents. Do you know, in order for a parent to be able to meet up to being friends with a teenager, you have to play low.
Yes.
You have to play to their level.
Come to their level.
You cannot be all superior and expect your child to still come to you and be open to you. You have to play with according. In fact, let them be the one leading. Do you understand? Things come like, okay, because they want you to feel like, yes, this person, a Gen Z mom, that's what we call it right now. Gen Z mom that knows what is happening. Okay, just be a Gen Z mom. That's the only reason why. That is the only way your child will be able to open up to you. But if you're being all this fight and mighty,
I'm your mother, I know better than you.
That will not come close to you, because they'll know if I tell you, okay, I have a boyfriend, you scold them for having a boyfriend. But when you're a parent that you are open up to, okay, if you have a boyfriend, let me know. Let's just about it. Let's talk about it. Don't make them feel like it's a sin to have a boyfriend. Now in this aspect, forget in the ordinary say you have to be 18 years and above before you start having a boyfriend. Most kids right now, even 3 years old child will come back from school, tell mommy, I have a boyfriend in school, his boy likes me. Is from that age you start telling them, okay, he likes you, all right, that's good. Now tell me what's the friend's name. Like from that way you begin to, okay, let me introduce me to this your boyfriend. When you go to school, any day you go to school with her, you take her to school, try to touch that, say, okay, is this your boyfriend? Make relationship with that small boy as well. That little boy that lady tells that this boy is my boyfriend. You'll be shocked on how if she comes back she will be telling you stories. Maybe let's say Benjamin is the boy's name. Do you know Benjamin did this in school? Benjamin did that in school. Everything. That's how the relationship will grow. But when the child comes and tell you I have a boyfriend, say, why would you have a boyfriend at your age? You start scolding and all this, they will run away from you, because information matters.
I'm happy that you give the strategy of what I'm talking about. Okay, so we have the same understanding. Then I'm happy you say that.
So time is not in our favor, but I would like you to maybe say something, as maybe give an advice to someone watching us right now from the house who maybe needs something from you, because you know better. Miss Ujo is a nurse, and Mr. Rafiu has a lot of problem that he's solving about those kind of topics. So I would like you to talk to a lady at home watching us right now.
A man too.
A man, yeah.
But anyway,
true.
Okay. We say that your body is your temple, but I'm not gonna go that far. But what I want you to know is you should take good care of your body. Once it's destroyed, it's true you can go to surgery, plastic surgery and something, but it's not only the body that you are also spirit. And then please take good care of the whole you
Body.
Okay, to have, to fulfill the dreams that you have for yourself, because you're dear to not only your parents but a whole nation. We love you.
Okay, so I would say, based on my profession, I wouldn't want to be biased. I will be open and plain to parents. I will advise you, if you cannot be there 24/7 to watch over your female daughter, I will advise you to go for family planning for them. Go once that child is 16 years, 17 years, and you start this child, you cannot monitor them. In order for your own safety, for your own peace of mind, go for family. Discuss family planning with them. It's not a sin. this, if it's anyone you see that can match up to this person's system. If it's the contraceptive, you give to them. If it's the one an implant, just make it for your own safety, for your own mindset to become that, yes, let my child be able to finish education. Because most people, being teenage pregnancy can warrant you not to finish your education, because you'll be ashamed to further your education. But once you are protected, you're at peace with yourself as a parent, and your child is also at peace with herself. But I'm not encouraging widely having sex or something like that. But it's in order for everybody to be in a safer side, and also educate protection, and also have sex education, talk that the only person you have that has the rights over your body is the person that you want to have this thing with, and not just because you want to do it. Be sure that yes, you are ready to do it before you go into anything sexual.
You can take care of yourself. It's very easy nowadays, because there are a lot of things that we can be using and all that, because you can't just stop someone from doing what he or she wants to do, but just take good care of yourself. As a lady, you have a great future in front of you, even as a man, because if you get a lady pregnant, at the end of the day, you also suffer from it. So it's very important you take good care of yourself. Thank you very much to Mr. Lasisi for making out of time of his busy schedule to be here with us today. And thank you very much to Ms. Uju to always honor our invitation. May God bless you too very much. And thank you very much to the production team, to my producer Jerry Tonamatiogbe, to my director Risha Krofanga and his assistant Christian Obanikwa, to the whole crew over there, Richard, thank you very much, Senyor, Ekwe, to my lovely sister Rebecca, thank you very much to you guys for the great job you are doing. The Youth Circle is shows each and every Friday at 11:15 a.m. and repeat at 6:15 p.m. in the evening, same as Sunday at 6:15 p.m. And the playlist is on YouTube. You can follow, subscribe, and share with people around you. Thank you very much for always being here with us. See you next time. Bye bye.